What's going on, guys? How you doing? My name is Tackett. Today I actually wanted to bring you a top 5 reasons why I picked the Retina 15-inch MacBook Pro. Probably said that backwards somewhere, but reason number 1, screen size. I originally had a 13-inch MacBook Pro from mid-2010, and it was a good computer for what it was 3 years ago, but it wasn't just doing what I needed it to do anymore. The 13-inch may seem like a pretty good screen size for most people. For me, it just wasn't enough. I'm a person who likes a lot of resolution, and I needed just more space. Dual 24-inch, 1920 by 1200 each. But the ability to actually easily run the resolution of 1920 by 1200 on a 15-inch screen, I understand that's kind of hard to explain if you're used to just a small laptop, but once you actually can expand and spread, that's what she said, you're gonna want to. And reason number 2 is power, because my mid-2010 was just not doing it anymore. It was a Core 2 Duo, and while that's not a horrible CPU back in 2010, but for 2013 standards, it just bleh. Had a hard time exporting 720p video, let alone stuff that I'm shooting now at 1080. I believe I have the 2.3 gigahertz quad-core i7. The third reason is the dedicated GPU. I tried out the 15-inch from early 2013, and they had the 1 gig 650M GPU, but now with the late 2013, and this one has the 2 gigabyte 750M. Plus Intel's integrated graphics kind of goes a long way as well, especially when you're running two 24-inch displays at home. And the biggest keyword there was at home. This is also my computer I take to school, which brings me to my 4th reason. The fact that I take this to class with me every single day, Monday through Friday, this goes with me in my bag, and I use it. Carry around a computer not to use it. The fact that it's a Retina MacBook also has the really slim design. A lot of people are actually complaining about that because they no longer have the optical drive. I can't actually remember the last time I used my optical drive. Even with the one I used before this one that I had for almost 3 months, I never needed it. That's kind of away from the point that I was getting from. And reason number 5, I already had a lot of the accessories. Like I've mentioned before in this video about 800 times, I have dual 24-inch monitors. I have 2 different keyboards. I have 1 mouse. I want a trackpad externally, but that's a different conversation for another day. I have my hard drives, my speakers, my DAC, my mic, my webcam. All of this is super easy to set up on that MacBook. With the availability of 2 Thunderbolt ports, I can plug in both displays. Plus it has the 3.0 port, which is spectacular when it comes to reading and writing from a 3.0 drive. The only thing I have to hook up is the power, one display, the other display, and a USB cord. So with 4 cables, I can completely make my system mobile. And that's actually a huge deal for me. And 3 additional things that I wanted to mention that didn't quite make the list. I really like the hardware of the Mac itself. I've been a Mac guy for almost 3 years now. I really like OS X, and I really like the hardware of a Mac. I can run Windows inside of a virtual machine, which I do for school. And I know I may get the comment, oh, you're an Apple fanboy. That's not the case at all. I actually work in Windows more than I work in OS X. I'm just not a Windows 8 fan, and I didn't like the direction it was going, which also kind of ties into the Apple fanboyish thing. I'm an Android user. I like Nexus devices, and I'm currently rocking an S3. The second thing I wanted to talk about that didn't make the list is the speakers. The speakers on the computer are actually pretty damn fantastic. And I have no other comments on the speakers other than that. Bleh. And lastly, but definitely not least, is the PCI-based SSD. And I know a lot of my viewers personally don't understand half the shit I've been talking about, but the ability to have consistently 700 read and 700 write is something I've dreamt of. Reminiscent now, I remember when I put my first SSD in the 2010 MacBook that I had. The read writes before were 40 and 60, and then when I switched to the SSD, it was 120 and 120, and I was so excited about that. The early 2013, I think, got 300 and 500, and then 700 and 700 is just crazy. So yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about that. That's all I wanted to talk about that. Yeah, that worked. Let me know what you guys use as your computer, whether it's a desktop, a laptop. Do you use both? Do you not have either and you use a tablet? Do you not have a tablet? You use a phone? If you don't have a phone, how are you living? How are you watching this video to begin with? I don't know what I'm talking about, guys, but I would like to know what you have. I know that a lot of my audience, like I said before, is not really a tech audience, and I don't plan on making this a tech channel, so don't think that I am. Just kind of wanted to share my opinions. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out, and darkness.